and welcome to my channel. My name is Jack, and I am back. So I guess you could say that I am back, Jack. I'm diving into the top 5 cruise mistakes that could totally ruin your trip, and I'm challenging myself to avoid every single one of them on my next cruise. Cruising has become a super popular way to travel, and I'm not surprised. Who wouldn't want to wake up in a new port every morning without having to change hotels? It's no secret that I'm a huge fan of cruises, and I've been lucky enough to go on several over the years. But even with all my experience, I've learned that there are some common mistakes that can really make or break your trip. When you're planning a cruise, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of it all and overlook some of the finer details. We've all been there, scrolling through Instagram, seeing all the amazing ports of call, and dreaming of sipping cocktails by the pool. But trust me, it's the little things that can make all the difference between an amazing vacation and a total disaster. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the top 5 cruise mistakes that can totally ruin your trip, and I'm going to give you some practical tips on how to avoid them. Whether you're a seasoned cruiser or a newbie, these mistakes are easy to make, but with a little knowledge, you can avoid them altogether. Over the past few years, cruising has become more popular than ever, with millions of people taking to the seas every year. And it's no wonder, cruises offer an incredible value, with your accommodations, meals, and activities all rolled into one convenient package. But with great popularity comes great responsibility, and it's more important than ever to be informed about how to plan a successful cruise. Cruising isn't just about getting from point A to point B, it's about the experience, the people you meet, the food you eat, and the memories you make. And if you're not careful, you can end up sacrificing some of that magic by making a few simple mistakes. So let's dive in and explore some of the most common mistakes people make when planning a cruise. Mistake number 1, not researching your cabin carefully enough. When you're booking your cabin, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of it all and not pay attention to the tiny details. But trust me, where your cabin is located can make a huge difference in your overall experience. For example, if you're prone to seasickness, you'll want to book a cabin in the middle of the ship, where the motion is less pronounced. Not only that, but some cabins can be noisy, especially if they're located near the engines or the nightclub. And let's not forget about the importance of natural light. If you're someone who likes to wake up to sunlight streaming through the window, you'll want to avoid booking an interior cabin. Mistake number 2, not budgeting for extras. Cruises often come with a lot of hidden costs, from drinks and restaurants to shore excursions and Wi-Fi. And if you're not careful, these costs can add up quickly. I've seen people get caught out by not budgeting for these extras, and it can really put a damper on your vacation. One way to avoid this mistake is to do your research beforehand and factor in all the extras you want to budget for. You can also consider booking a cruise that includes more amenities, like drinks or Wi-Fi, to help keep costs down. Enjoying this video? Then please tap that like button. Also don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Thank you for your support. Mistake number 3, not planning your days in port carefully enough. When you're in port, you want to make the most of your time, but it's easy to get caught out by not planning ahead. For example, if you're not careful, you can end up wasting hours waiting in line for a popular attraction, or missing out on a must-see experience because you didn't book it in advance. To avoid this mistake, make sure you do your research beforehand and plan your days in port carefully. Consider booking shore excursions or tours ahead of time, and make sure you know exactly what you want to see and do in each port. Mistake number 4, not packing the right gear. Packing for a cruise can be tricky. You need to bring enough clothes for the duration of your trip, but you also need to consider the dress code for dinner, as well as any specific gear you might need for shore excursions. And let's not forget about the importance of sun protection. You'll want to bring sunscreen, a hat, and some comfortable sunglasses. One of the biggest mistakes people make is not packing the right shoes. You'll want a pair of comfortable sandals or sneakers for lounging around the ship, as well as some dressier shoes for dinner. Mistake number 5, not being flexible. Cruises can be unpredictable, and things don't always go according to plan. Whether it's a change in the itinerary or an unexpected storm, you need to be prepared for anything. And if you're not flexible, you can end up getting really stressed out when things don't go your way. One way to avoid this mistake is to go into your cruise with an open mind and a flexible attitude. Remember, it's all about the experience, and sometimes the best memories come from unexpected moments. I've heard from some of my fellow cruisers that they've had some pretty terrible experiences because of these mistakes. For example, one friend of mine didn't research her cabin carefully enough and ended up with a noisy cabin near the nightclub. Another friend didn't budget for extras and ended up with a huge bill at the end of the trip. But it's not just about the mistakes, it's about the consequences of those mistakes. When you make one of these mistakes, it can really put a damper on your entire vacation. You'll be stressed out, frustrated, and disappointed, and that's not what a vacation is supposed to be about. Of course, not everyone will agree on what constitutes a mistake. Some people might not mind booking an interior cabin, or might not care about budgeting for extras. And that's okay, cruising is all about personal preference. But for me, these 5 mistakes are critical to avoiding, and I hope that by sharing them with you, I can help you plan a successful and stress-free cruise. So to sum it up, the top 5 cruise mistakes to avoid are not researching your cabin carefully enough, not budgeting for extras, not planning your days in port carefully enough, not packing the right gear, and not being flexible. By avoiding these mistakes, you can ensure that your cruise is an amazing and unforgettable experience. If you've got any cruise horror stories or tips to share, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. And don't forget to check out my other travel-related videos for more tips and advice on how to plan the perfect vacation. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.